boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. It's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things ready through a common sense lens. And I want to put this out there to all of the little wokey psychopaths out there who are watching this video right from the beginning just because of the way I titled this. I just want to let you know up front, the fact that this video exists means you have lost. You are losing. So by all means, put all your fun little comments in the section down below. Downvote my video all you want, because you cannot deny the fact that even Variety, one of the spirit of the age, legacy Hollywood institution trade magazines, is telling you that Leonardo DiCaprio's one battle, the Pro-Antifa masterpiece, Hollywood called it, has lost $100 million at the box office, boys and girls, and it's not even close. You little woke psychopaths out there have lost, and it's exactly what you deserve. So to all of the rest of you out there that actually enjoy my videos and are reveling in the fact that common sense wins again and Hollywood has wasted hundreds of millions of dollars on an absolute another abysmal flop that even Leonardo DiCaprio himself could not save, well, boys and girls, you're in for a treat. Because as you can see over from the headline at cosmicbook.news, Pro-Antifa, one battle after another, bombs at the box office, projected to lose $100 million, boys and girls. And it's not like this thing's going to be $100 million away from profitability. No, it's not that kind of loss. No, overall, at bare minimum, this movie is going to lose them $100 million. And as we all have known from years of covering this stuff, watching these tax returns, seeing how much money is actually spent on these movies, we know it's going to be a much bigger flop than that, because every single time we have found out about the actual budget numbers for any of these movies, they are always way higher than what was actually reported. So there's a possibility this movie could have cost Warner Brothers hundreds of billions of dollars at the box office, and that is a beautiful thing to see, boys and girls. So we're going to share this article from cosmicbook.news, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what has happened with this absolute disastrous dumpster fire of a movie. But before we do, and why we're calling it Pro-Antifa as well, but before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,200. We're inching our way closer and closer to 23. I think it's like 2291, 99 on our journey to 100,000, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Were you one of the few people out there that went and saw one battle after another because Leonardo DiCaprio had it, and you are, like me, a big fan of his work out there and absolutely love the majority of his movies? Or you like the majority of America and the rest of the Western world out there who had no desire to see this movie, especially when its marketing was all about how pro-Antifa it was? Or are you one of those little Antifa sympathizers out there who absolutely love this movie and you hate my guts and wish for me to end my own life? All because I'm calling out the fact that your side is clearly losing. Let us know what in the comment section down below, because unlike at one battle after another, all opinions are welcome in our comment section. And of course, if you'd like to support the channel, check out the description as well. All right, boys and girls, from Matt McGloin over at cosmicbook.news. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, is turning into one of the biggest financial flops of 2025. Despite glowing reviews from critics calling it a generational masterpiece. A generational masterpiece. You know what? Just for fun, boys and girls, let's do this live. Let's look up the Rotten Tomatoes score from One Battle After Another. What do you want to bet? It's absolutely glowing with reviews from all of the critics, boys and girls. What do you want to absolutely believe that is? Because this is how prepared I am. What did they get? What did they? A 95% from the critics, boys and girls. And color us shocked there. This is a woke, spirit of the age fest movie. Well, that's okay, because the politically charged drama is on track to lose more than $100 million for the, I will point out to you, already broke and basically bankrupt Warner Brothers per Variety. No, not some independent analyst out there, boys and girls. This is Variety telling us this, not us doing our own math. The movie stumbled out of the gate with just a $22 million in its opening weekend. That's an alarming number for a film with a reported $170 million budget. Warner Brothers spent almost $200 million on nothing more than a spirit of the age possessed political talking points movie. I wonder why it flopped at the box office. Go ahead. Sacrifice on the altar to Moloch again, Warner Brothers. Maybe you'll get good crops better. Maybe you'll get better crops next year after all. Maybe you'll get a better box office return next time. By our calculations, one battle after another needed at least $425 million worldwide to break even. Industry standard is 2 times its budget. But to be fair, it's only managed domestically $55 million, internationally $85 million, for a worldwide of $140 million globally, with a budget of $170 million. This thing couldn't even recoup its own budget in ticket sales globally, boys and girls. And as we generally know, the 2-time standard isn't anywhere near enough. 2.5 is really the standard we generally use, and 3 times, according to Robert Meyer Burnett, a guy who still works for Hollywood, that's more likely an accurate number. So at minimum, this movie probably needed to make $500 to $600, maybe even $700 million globally to break even. That's not going to happen. Well, but if they make their budget back, why don't they make a profit? Why did the movie did it? It's good. It made a profit. Well, that's because all of you activists out there don't know the reality. Or maybe you're just new to this and you're not aware of how the box office split actually works. Well, that's okay, because we're going to remind everybody once again. Ticket sales are typically split 50-50 between studios and theaters. Even less so internationally, with theaters receiving a greater share. Oh, but it made so much money overseas. Yeah, how much of that does the studio actually make? Well, for most overseas box offices, the general standard is 60 to 40%. 60-40, right? The studio makes 40, the international box office makes 60. Now, over there in China, you know that box office that Disney has kowtowed, shrunk black people on their posters, covered up black people's faces on their posters? Yeah, that company out there, that almighty budget, well, over there in China land, where the CCP rules the box office, you get about 20 to 25% of that box office. Boy, it's really worth sacrificing your black actors on the altar to China's box office. But man, them headlines do look good, don't they, boys and girls? So the studio actually took home is likely less than $70 million. That puts Warner Brothers deep in the red. Adding to that, the studio's woes, Variety reports that Leonardo DiCaprio reportedly negotiated a first dollar gross deal, meaning he earns a cut of ticket sales before the studio recoups any costs. What's that mean? Well, that 50-50 of ticket sales has now gone down even further. Now, of course, we'll never know the exact details of Leonardo DiCaprio's sales, but let's just say it's 5% or 10% or even 1%. That is millions of dollars more in losses that Warner Brothers has now occurred as a result of this movie, boys and girls. It's a luxury deal that only makes sense when a movie hits big. Here, it's just salt in the wound. That means somebody inside of Warner Brothers somebody, while negotiating the contract with Leonardo DiCaprio, thought this Warner Brothers Antifa woke Spirit of the Age action movie was going to be a major box office hit. Boys and girls, someone inside of that company made a business decision based on their belief that this movie was going to be a success. Yeah, that's the people currently running things in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. But critics called it Antifa cinema. But the modern audience, that's going to replace all them old, white, and stale racist bigots out there now, isn't it? Well, not on based on one battle after another's box office now, is it? But that's okay, because it didn't stop the access to legacy media out there for shilling as hard as they could for this being a Spirit of the Age representation movie. Boy, I wonder if that might have any reason as to why a lot of people didn't go see this movie. Because it sure seems when the marketing around something seems woke, like the Superman movie, it's an allegory for immigration after all. Things don't go very well. Don't believe me? I had somebody at my church ask me if the Superman movie was woke, and I had to flat out tell them no, that was literally just one stupid interpretation by one stupid talking head that went viral out there, boys and girls, that there was nothing about that whatsoever. Didn't matter. Superman still lost money, and that was an average common sense person who doesn't pay attention to this stuff's opinion whatsoever. And that was without the Hollywood trade magazines calling the movie an Antifa special, right? That's without Grace Randolph calling the movie misogynistic. The rebels in Paul Thomas Anderson's movie resemble the Weather Underground. Oh, you mean the people that bombed a federal building that killed people that Bill Clinton had to pardon in the 90s? You mean the same Weather Underground David Ayers that literally raised, shaped, and molded Barack Hussein Obama's political career? Yeah, those folks. Boy, I wonder why this movie didn't do so well. The Weather Underground, less than the right's conspiratorial image of Antifa super soldiers, says the New Republic. Yeah. The film casts as an Antifa-style group as its heroes, demonizing law enforcement at every conceivable turn, says the Hollywood in toto. Yes, boys and girls, you've got yourself a domestic terrorist organization promoting movie that bashes cops at every conceivable term. Wow, I wonder why this flopped at the box office. Remind me again, wokies, how you're the future and you're going to replace all of us racist bigots with all of your new propaganda out there. Remind me what side is losing once again? Even left-leaning reviewers called the film provocative and uncomfortable, while others labeled it outright propaganda. And somebody over there at Warner Brothers thought this propaganda was worth $170 million and was going to be a major box office hit. Was it worth sacrificing those hundreds of millions of dollars on the altar to Lucifer and his woke cult David Zaslav? I'm just curious, was appeasing the people in Hollywood who already hate you worth it, buddy? I hope it was, man. I hope it was. The story follows DiCaprio as a bomb maker in a militant resistance group fighting a fascist U.S. government. Yay, boys and girls. It's a movie promoting domestic terrorism. Yay. I wonder why this bombed at the box office. I just couldn't help myself. But once again, this just shows you that despite whatever institutional control the Spirit of the Age still has or thinks it has, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because like the old saying goes, eventually they run out of other people's money. And that's exactly what's happened. We saw the devastation of what Walter Hamada did, chasing the woke modern audience, allegedly listening to James Gunn throughout his DCU out there. We saw that abysmally fall and fail. We saw them never getting Henry Cavill return. We saw them literally drive that company to the point of bankruptcy, to where they ended up getting bought up by Discovery out there, and now we're fixing to get sold off bits and pieces to other companies out there, or bought whole cloth once again by Paramount Skydance, who hopefully can actually turn things around and stop giving us garbage Antifa propaganda like one battle after another. But until then, this stuff will continue until these institutions completely and totally collapse. But boys and girls, for those of you left watching this video, I will once again remind you, this is why we're winning. This is why I started this video off reminding the little psychopathic cultists out there that they are losing, because Warner Brothers just lost hundreds of millions of dollars in a movie that was labeled by their own side, their own critics, as nothing more than propaganda for a failed political movement. Why would you expect anything less, boys and girls? At the end of the day, Leonardo DiCaprio, Thomas Anderson, and everyone else over there at Warner Brothers that decided to greenlight this movie and its massive budget have danced with the devil in the pale moonlight. They believed all of his lies, and now they've gotten burned. Their latest woke propaganda has wasted hundreds of millions of dollars for a company who certainly can't afford it. And after all, it's exactly what they deserve. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.